Hello, hello. Were you aware that on May 28, 2025, the U.S. Court of International Trade issued a landmark ruling granting summary judgment in favor of both sets of plaintiffs in the Court of International Trade that the tariffs that were imposed by the president under the International Emergency Economy Powers Act, which is the IPEA, and permanently enjoined their enforcement. This decision places constitutional and statutory limits on presidential authority to impose tariffs under the national emergency declarations. The uh, the key findings were that the phrase regulated importation in 15 U.S. Code 1702 was interpreted not to authorize blanket worldwide and or retaliatory tariffs. The court ruled this would otherwise violate the non-delegation doctrine and the major questions doctrine. Balance of payments are governed by the Trade Act, not IPEA. Congress has provided more specific limited statutory tools for the trade responses, namely Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. The president cannot sidestep these limits and invoking the IPEA, which is the International Emergency Economy Powers Act. And traffic tariffs fail to deal with testing in the 15 U.S. Code 1701. Tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada were found not to directly deal with the national emergency, the drug and human trafficking threats. The use of tariffs as leverage or pressure was not sufficient under the statute. And obviously, there's a relief granted. All executive orders imposing a worldwide retali- retaliatory and traffic tariffs are vacated. A nationwide injunction prohibits enforcement or collation of these tariffs by CBP and other federal agencies. The judgment has national impact due to constitutional requirement of tariff uniformity. And obviously, what this means for importers and all the trade professionals, obviously, what you have to do is pretty much review all the entries for product previously subject to this tariff that were, you know, filed for refunds were applicable through the post summer corrections. And pretty much, we don't know. We're in the wait for the future to see what's going to happen on regards to the tariffs that if they're going to be pretty much implemented or not. So pretty much, as we said again, pretty much the court pretty much overturned the presidential tariff. What pretty much what this again means for everybody is like maybe we're gonna be subject to refunds of all those duties that were paid, but pretty much we're gonna wait for instructions for that. So just be aware on those governmental instructions to see how is it gonna go. What procedures they're gonna take and how they're gonna follow along with that refunds if in fact they go for refunds. But anyways, I want to welcome everybody to our channel, JJ International, and we'll bring clarity on U.S. trade, customs, and federal law. As you all know me, I'm Jaime Salazar, and I'm a licensed broker under the customs federal laws. And today we're gonna be breaking down a landmark decision just issued by the U.S. Court of International Trade on May the 28th of 2025. In short, the court ruled that the president's use of emergency powers under the International Emergency Economy Powers Act, or IPEA, how they call it, to impose tariffs was unconstitutional and beyond legal limits. This ruling affects businesses, importers, and state government across the country. And today we're going to dive in into what really happened, what the courts decided, and how this pretty much affects you. So we're gonna start with a little bit of a background of what really happened to all this scenario that is everybody's going crazy about it. As you all know, there were two lawsuits that were filed, one by private companies and the other one selection were like other companies and another by states like Oregon, New York, and Illinois. They were challenging the new tariffs that had been imposed by the President Trump in early 2025. Um, and obviously, there were two keys sets of tariffs that they were brought into the court case, and the worldwide and retaliatory tariffs, a general 10% tariffs on all imports, and higher tariffs up to 50 um, on a 57 specific countries. Um, Number two, the trafficking tariffs, additional tariffs of 25% on Mexican and Canadian goods and 20% on Chinese goods, allegedly due to cartel related threats. That's what they were claiming about, and obviously what the plaintiffs claim, these tariffs were not allowed under the APS statute, and the court obviously agree based on that. Then what were the uh, what were the legal issues? Uh, Obviously, the court ruled that the president went too far by using emergency powers to impose broad trade tariffs, and this is why we're gonna pretty much break it down to explain to you um, what happened. And first of all, was the IPA was not meant to give the president unlimited tariff powers. Okay, and the law only allows the president to regulate imports to deal with an unusual and extraordinary threat. It does not allow him to impose trade wide duties just to pressure other countries. And that was the first part, what they found out. And then the second one, the court found that these tariffs did not directly address the threats claim imposing 25% tariffs on Canadian or Mexican goods does not directly deal with drug trafficking. The president used tariffs as leverage, not as a direct response, and that goes beyond the law. And the third finding was that the court applied the non-delegation doctrine and the major questions doctrine that means Congress cannot hand over vast economic powers to the president unless it's very clear and specific, and IPEA does not pass that test for imposing this kind of tariffs. And in the court's ruling, they found out um, obviously the court pretty much granted summary judgment in favor of the plaintiffs, meaning it decided the case without trial based on clear law. Pretty much, it was done like that. And here exactly what exactly means that you know all of the challenge executive orders were pretty much declared illegal. Okay, the president exceeded his authority under EPA. The tariff imposed are vacated, meaning they are wiped out. Pretty much, they're wiped out completely. Customs and Border Protection is not permanently enjoining from collecting these tariffs. Okay, and because the Constitution requires tariffs to be uniform nationwide, this ruling applies to all importers, not just the companies and states that file suits. Everybody file the states. There's certain states and certain importers file lawsuits against this type of action. But pretty much final decision benefits everybody that were affected by um, this this implementation of which we all know already that the Court of International Trade ruled it out. And what does mean exactly this? What impact's going to have for pretty much the importers, right? And so, what is it that you should do as an importer or trade professional what do you do from this point on, for instance, right? So pretty much, if your company pay duties, um, this type of tariffs, especially under subheading 9903, you may not be eligible to file for a refund. Obviously, uh, we're still waiting. Sorry for uh, how is it that they're gonna go about doing those refunds, because we haven't till now we haven't received any specific instructions, any instructions from CVP, from the government. And so until we do, then we're gonna follow along with it. And then obviously we're gonna reach out to all those importers that paid out uh those duties that were affected by these tariffs. And then we're gonna have to file uh those uh post summary corrections or protests, whatever the case is gonna be. But again, they're gonna be entitled for that. But right now we're just waiting for instructions to see what's going to happen. I know it's going to be a lot of chaos, because I know for a fact that um, CVP um, is pretty much backlogged with back and forth with all this that's been going on. Like it's been a crazy ride for everybody, as we all know. Us as broker, uh, CVP as customs, and constantly implementing, removing, adding, and removing and adding. And you know how this thing works and how's it been working so far. So if you're filing new entries, make sure your custom brokers removes these invalidated duties unless CVP provides contrary guidance. And again, we are still waiting for that, because nothing has showed us yet to see what we're gonna proceed along with it. So watch out for possible appeals by the federal government. But as of today, the court order is final and enforceable. But obviously, we know for a fact that uh, they refile a motion. You know, the White House refiled a motion, because they're still battling that. So until that actually does completely finishes uh, officially, which obviously we already have the court decisions. But again, they file motions, meaning that it's still under the process. So we don't know until we get further instructions that we're gonna actually follow up on that, and we're gonna decide on that. I know that there was another second. Um, I think there was another second case or something like that that just came out. I don't remember, last week or the week before that. And again, I believe, I don't know if they struck out the motion again that they filed. I'm gonna look into that. I haven't had the opportunity to look into that. I will look into it, and then I'll try to post that information as well. But again, be cautious with any future presidential tariffs imposed under the IPM. This decision sets a clear legal boundary. And again, what does it mean? This pretty much is a major victory for lawful trade, and a clear message that presidential powers under emergency laws has limits. You know, so as you know, here at JJ International, we continue to follow every development in international trade law to keep you informed and protected. So if you have any questions about duty refunds, or how this decision is going to affect your imports, contact us directly or leave a comment below. As always, we'll try to get back to you guys, and we'll let you know what the outcome is going to be. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to stay up to date with trade laws, news, and you can actually use. And again, I'm gonna thank everybody for tuning in and watching us. And and again, don't forget to subscribe. And we're gonna have more trade law updates coming up. And there's been a lot of changes um, in the, especially in immigration, customs. All these things has been a very crazy, uh, chaos, right? Everybody's is writing it, and until we actually get um, instructions from customs, that's when we're gonna find out how we're gonna actually proceed with obtaining those refunds, or see what the outcome's gonna be with that. But apparently, we're importers are gonna be entitled, because obviously the Court of International Trade, as we saw it right now as we review it. They pretty much you know uh, they rule it out. So it means that it was everything was done irregularly. It wasn't done by law, and as you all know, um, the the president pretty much abused of the power, and as we saw it here, and it's in the court records, and that's pretty much what it is. So until now, just stay tuned, and hopefully, the there was some followers there, the audience, they wanted me to try to put this content in English version. As you know, I do a lot of Spanish version because we handle a lot of importers, a lot of exporters, the majority from Mexico, and they always want to be up to date with everything of what's going on with the new laws and the new changes and everything. But again, I hope the people that reached out. Um, Here it is for you guys, and again, make sure to like and subscribe our channel, and again, if you like the content, and for those of you that are new to our channel, please don't forget to like it, share this video with your friends, and again, I thank everybody for being supportive, and again, I don't know, without you guys, this channel would not even exist. So again, thank you very much for your loyal support and for the new uh, subscribers. Again, I welcome you, and I thank you anywhere in the country that you guys are. And again, don't forget to comment. Um, Give me your comments, and if you want to talk about a specific subject, whether anything that relates to the federal law, please by all means let us know um, by commenting. And in the meantime, um, again, thank you very much, everybody, and hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much, guys.